We come to the closing address of respected Maulana Mubarak Ahmad Nazir Sahib, our missionary in charge.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected Amir Sahib, Sadr Sahib, and my dear children, my dear youngsters, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
As I was entering Hadiqa Ahmed, my mind constantly went and I offered prayers for Hazrat Muslim Maud. When I saw the faces of our youth, our leaders of tomorrow, I was thinking of Hazrat Muslim Maud, his wisdom in creating these auxiliary organizations. You have heard a speech by Naveed Ahmed Mangla Sahib about Belize. We have our missionaries, young missionaries, struggling in Ecuador, in Bolivia, and in many other countries. To convert somebody is not easy. You can ask somebody to start wearing different clothes, that you can do it. But to ask him to change his religion, it requires very great efforts. It's a very great jihad. My long experience, especially in Africa and now in Canada, people are not always converted because of arguments. Because for every argument that you give, people give one or two different types of answers. But there is one argument for which the world has no answer. And that argument is the character of an Ahmadi. When an Ahmadi has a sterling character, that stands out. People are motivated, not by long speeches, sometimes not even by long arguments. They are motivated by the strength of the character. That is what changes people. We are a small community fighting a battle against the whole world. We are engulfed in a life and death struggle with a fight against a different ideology. It's not only the arguments, it is what character do you have? In Africa, where I have spent almost 3 decades of my life, 27 or 28 years. That's a long, long time. Once there's a small town, quite a big town in Sierra Leone called Magburka. And our missionary, Maulana Muhammad Siddiq Sahib Amritsari, was there at that time, and there was a minister who came to visit Makburka, and a welcome party was arranged in his honor, where many people were invited, and also the Lebanese community were invited, the Syrian community, who are mostly traders, rich people, they were also invited. And Maulana Muhammad Siddiq Sahib gave an introduction of the Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya. The Syrians who were sitting in the audience started objecting. They said, no, Khatm-e-Nubuwwat and this and that, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is this, and he's Nauzubillah, a liar, and they started, quite a commotion in the audience. The minister who was there, his name was the late Kandebure. He was a minister. He later on, in fact, for some time, became the head of state. Kandebure saw all this commotion, and he told the Syrians that, please listen to me. And he stood up and said, you know I'm a minister. I'm also a paramount chief. I decide cases. Cases come to me of rape or adultery or stealing or confinement and different, money. So many cases come to me. He said, in my area, many people have become Ahmadis. But I have noted one thing, that since these people became Ahmadis, I do not have a single case against them. He said, I'm not a scholar. I cannot answer what these Lebanese and these Syrians are saying. I'm not a scholar. I do not know much about religion. But I know one thing, that a liar, an apostate, can never produce such people. कहने लगे कि दलाइल जो हैं वो तो मैं नहीं जानता, मैं तो इस मामले में तो मैं तो एक दुनियादार आदमी हूँ, मुझे ये दलाइल का तो पता नहीं, सच्चे हैं झूठे हैं वो खुदा बेहतर जानता है। एक बात मैं ज़रूर जानता हूँ कि जब से ये लोग अहमदी हुए हैं, कोई एक भी मुकदमा मेरे पास नहीं आया इनका, चोरी का, झूठ का, पैसों का, जना का, वहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा होता है। एक भी मुकदमा कैसे हो सकता है? कहता है मैं अनपढ़, मैं जानता नहीं ज़्यादा, मगर मैं एक बात जानता हूँ कि झूठा हजरत मिर्ज़ा ग़ुलाम अहमद नौज़ुबिल्लाह, अगर वो झूठा है ऐसे बंदे बना नहीं सकता। So it is the character that people are looking. This is what Hazrat Masih Maud said, that he saw in a vision. He said, I am making a new heaven and I am making a new earth and I am creating a new generation. You and I are that new generation. To convert, the character stands out. जो सर छोड़कर सर जो सर पर बैठकर जो जादू बोलता है ना, वो इखलाक का जादू है। इखलाक का जादू है, उसके आगे कोई नहीं खड़ा हो सकता। Was it not that same miracle of character that in the time of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when an old woman was coming to Mecca and she was told by the people that never go near Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because he is a magician. When you see him, You cannot stand his magic. He's got some magical powers. He's got some mesmerizing powers. So she said, okay, she was an old woman. She had a very heavy load on her head. You have heard this many, many times. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw that a old lady toiling, sweating under that heavy load, and he said, Madam, can I help you with your luggage? Can I take it on my head? She said, okay, take it, but please take me to that place, but do not follow a route or a route that would make me to confront Muhammad, because I have been warned. He said, okay. He put his luggage on the head and did not say a single word. And he took her over there. And when he took out the load, the woman said, oh, young man, what is your name? Such courtesy, such help to an old woman. What is your name? He said, Madam, my name is Muhammad. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Nare Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Muhammad Mustafa!
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Muhammad Mustafa!
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Insaniyat!
Zindabad.
Rahmatul lil Alameen!
Zindabad.
Namamat ki! Jai! Namamat ki! Jai! Nare Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
The old lady exclaimed spontaneously. He said, oh Muhammad, your magic has worked upon me. And she recited the kalama and became a Muslim. This is the character. It is the strength of character. So as you go out into the world, you are the ambassadors of Ahmadiyyat. You are the custodians of Ahmadiyyat. You are the pillars of Ahmadiyyat. You are a different breed. You have been created to conquer the hearts of humanity. No arms. We got no appetite for territories. Our business is not to conquer territory. We are in the business of conquering hearts. Hearts and souls. So unless you mold yourself, people ask you, who are you? That is what counts. That is what really matters. In Africa, the people were converted to Ahmadiyyat not because of Khatm Nubuwwat or because they understood this and because they understood, maybe a small fraction. Most of them were converted because of the character of these missionaries. The way they dress themselves, their humility, their service to humanity, their kindness, their compassion, their sincerity, their truthfulness. That was what converted them. Not that they make long speeches and people accept it. Yes, they made speeches, no doubt about that. But the thing was that sometimes people followed them. Sometimes the people drove them out of their villages, and these missionaries slept sometime under trees when it was drizzling. And there was a man who became Pal Haji Rogers was a saint of Ahmadiyyat. He said, I was converted because I saw this old man walk to a tree and put a small cloth under a tree, and he put his head on his box. And there I saw him sleeping. This man cannot be a liar. Coming into Africa, cannot be a liar. No argument. So you are to equip, this is a battle you are fighting. We are sending out soldiers who will go and fight it out. Now you hear about Belize and people are accepting Ahmadiyyat. I am telling you again and again, the greatest weapon, unless you have a relationship with Allah Ta'ala, nothing can go wrong. You have a grafting with Allah Ta'ala. Then He becomes your eyes. He becomes your ears. He becomes your tongue. He becomes your hands. Indeed, He even becomes your feet. That is the promise, not the poor Mubarak. It is a promise of Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So why not come under that refuge? Then you become an incendiary bomb, a spiritual bomb. These are the suicide bombers who convert people. Mufti Muhammad Sadiq Sahib did not, was just a lonely person. I have seen him many, many times. They put him in jail. He started converting people over there. They said, let us pull him out of the jail, because if we do not pull him out of the jail, he's going to make the whole people Muslims. It is the character that they saw in him. They saw that he had a relationship with Allah, the acceptance of prayers. Hazrat Masih Maud also, countless examples of the Khulafa, countless examples of Hazrat Masih Maud, the acceptance of prayer. And sometime it was the personality of Hazrat Masih Maud. Once an English man came to Qadian on a horse. The deputy commissioner, a very important person, a white man, in those days, pre-partition, the time of Hazrat Masih Maud came to Qadian galloping on a horse. And he came to Qadian and said, I want to see Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. I have got a very important message and I want to talk to him. So Hazrat Masih Maud was invited. He came and sat down and he opened his diary. He said, I have forgotten the message. I have forgotten what I wanted to say, but he opened his diary and started searching. And he continued to say, I have got a very important message for you. Hazrat Masih Maud smiled and said, okay, show me that. Ask me, I'm sitting before you. And he started looking here and there. Then he reversed it and started looking here and there. And he continued to say, I've got a very important message. बहुत ज़रूरी काम है. लिखा हुआ यहाँ पर, पता नहीं कहाँ गया. Finally, he wrapped his diary book, put it in his pocket. He said, I'll come back again because I have forgotten. I wrote it. It's not there anymore. I wrote it and went back, never came back again. It is the personality sometimes. When Ahmad confronted Abu Jahl and asked Abu Jahl to give that man his money, it was the personality of Ahmad. A godly man, a godly man has got a different personality. Simahum fi wujuhihim min asar sujud. His personality changes because of his sajda, because of his prostrations. So you as youngsters, young as you are, your blood is hot, warm. You are our tomorrow. Don't put us to shame. Don't embarrass us. Oh, embarrass me, no problem, but don't embarrass Hazur Yadullah Ta'ala min Aziz. Do not let somebody report that this Ahmadi is doing this or this Ahmadi is doing that, or he's indulged, God forbid, in drinking or in other, nobody is watching. This is Canada. Nobody is watching. Look at the television. You cannot hide so much, nakedness. That's, but you are Ahmadis. You are a new breed. You are a new generation. You have been created to create a turmoil in the world. You have been created, each one of you. We are all foot soldiers of Ahmadiyyat. So our humble message that go out into the world as ambassadors of Ahmadiyyat, you will see that Allah Ta'ala will bless your voice. हज़रत मसीह ने फरमाया ना कि मेरी आवाज़ के पीछे एक और आवाज़ है जो इस आवाज़ को तक़वियत अता करती है, ताकत अता करती है. जब इंसान अल्लाह ताला के लिए कलाम करता है तो अल्लाह ताला उसकी ज़बान में बरकत डाल देता है. वो अनपढ़ सा होता है, मारफ उसकी ज़बान से अल्लाह ताला निकालता है. इस तरह के हैं. Never lose heart, never become disgruntled that I have done this and I have done that. Allah Ta'ala forgives everything, provided you make a U-turn. The strength of the Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya is, when will you make a U-turn? When will I make a U-turn? When will everybody make a U-turn? When will you give yourself? Temporary world. Was it yesterday that we went and buried a young man of about 60 years, maybe 61, 62 years? I saw his corpse. Young person was driving a cab, was about to go, felt something, he said maybe it is gas. One heart attack, other heart attack, gone. This is the temporary world. How long do we stay over here? What preparations have we made? When we think about our preparations, we start perspiring. So may Allah Ta'ala bless you all. May Allah Ta'ala reward you all. I hope you benefited fully from the Jalsa, from the Ijtima, and particularly from the message of Hazur Anwar. That the message of love and the message of affection and the message of the obedience to Khilafat. It's not that because he's Khalifatul Masih Khamas, it is the obedience to the Nizam-e Khilafat. That is what really counts. We all say we are obedient to Khilafat, but whenever an order is issued against your thinking, then that is a trial. So may Allah Ta'ala bless you all. Before I finish, we used to go to Maulvi Muhammad Ibrahim Sahab Bakapuri. He used to be in Rabwa, and we students used to visit him. And our Ahmadis also, as I said, Allah Ta'ala gives them the strength. So Maulvi Muhammad Ibrahim Sahab Bakapuri had lost all his teeth, and he did not even wear a denture. So when he used to laugh without those teeth, he not only used to look a bit funny, but he used to laugh, very heartily and without any hesitation. Once he told me, he said, I went to a village. मैं अगर उर्दू में सुनाऊं तो शायद बेहतर होगा. He said, वो कहने लगे कि एक दफ़ा मैं गांव में गया तो वहाँ पर मैं तबलीग के लिए गया तो वहाँ देखा कि बहुत बड़ा को आलम आया हुआ है. बहुत बड़ा आलम था, वो आया हुआ है, और लोगों ने कहा कि हमारा एक कादियानी भी आया हुआ है यहाँ पर. तो मुझे आकर बताया कि वो आया हुआ है, बैठा हुआ है, आप उससे जाकर बात तो करें. तो मौलवी साहब की जिस तरह आदत थी, खूंडा अपना पकड़ा तो वो चल पड़े. कहते जो दिखाओ कौन है, कि थोड़ा आलम जरा मैं देखा तो सी जाके कह रहा गए. जाकर देखा कि बहुत बड़ी चारपाई है गांव के अंदर. तो वो बैठा हुआ, तकिया लगा हुआ है और आराम से बैठा हुआ है, लंबी दाढ़ी और चोगा पहना हुआ है और कुल्ला ऊपर ऊंचा किया हुआ है, और लोग सारे ज़मीन पर बैठे हुए हैं और उसकी खिदमत कर रहे हैं, और वो चारपाई के ऊपर ایسے جیسے بادشاہ لیٹا ہوتا ہے. کہتے ہیں میں گیا تو جا کر میں سیدھا چارپائی کے اوپر جا کے بیٹھ گیا اس کے ساتھ تکیے کی طرف. اگر کوئی آئے تو عام طور پر وہ دوسری طرف بیٹھتا ہے پینتیوں کی طرف, تو وہ کہتے ہیں میں جا کے تکیے کی طرف آرام سے جا کے اس کے ساتھ بیٹھ گیا. وہ بڑا حیران ہوا کہ اس کی یہ جرت کہ یہ اوپر بھی آ کر بیٹھ گیا ہے اور بیٹھا بھی اس طرف ہے میرے پاس آ کر بیٹھ گیا ہے. تو یہ کیونکہ ان کے پاس یہ پیلمنزم اور ہوتا ہے تو وہ یعنی قوت ہوتی ہے بعض کے پاس نا, وہ اثر ڈالتے ہیں. تو کہتے ہیں میں بیٹھا تھا تو اس نے مجھ پر اثر ڈالا. تو وہ اپنے پنجابی میں کہتے ہیں میں نا چل گیا میں برداشت کر گیا اس کا اثر. پھر اس نے کہا کہ یہ اثر جو مجھے یہ بندہ کو لگتا ہے زیادہ ہوشیار ہے, اس نے کہا جی مولوی صاحب آپ بہت بڑے بندے ہیں تو آپ کو گلے ملتے ہیں, تاکہ جب گلے ملو اور آنکھوں میں آنکھیں ڈال کر بات دیکھو تو مسمرائز کرنے والے نا آنکھیں ڈال کر دیکھتے ہیں نا. تو کہتے ہیں کہ اس نے مجھے مسپرائز کرنے کی کوشش کی, جدوں میں نا گلے ملیا نا تو انہیں میرے بڑا زور لایا بڑا. تو مولوی صاحب نے سارے دانت نکلے ہوئے تو ہنستے ہوئے کہا میں نا پھر میں بھی تھوڑا جہا زور لایا. کہتے میں تھوڑا جہا زور لایا تو او پیا جا کے. حضرت مسیح موعود کا بھی تھا نا, وہ ایک آدمی جو شادی کے لیے گئے تھے تو ایک آدمی جو بڑا مسمرائز کرنا جانتا تھا وہ آ گیا اور وہ کہنے لگا, اس نے کوشش کی کہ جب یہ مرزا صاحب کھڑے ہوں گے تو میں کوئی نہ کوئی شرارت کروں گا, مسمرائز کروں گا ان کو, تاکہ یہ کوئی ایسی حرکتیں شروع کر دیں. یہ مسمرائز کرنے والے کرتے ہیں, بعض کا کسی کو کھجلی لگ گئی ہے, کوئی سر دبانا شروع کر دیا ہے, کسی نے دانت ہنسنا شروع کر دیا ہے, اس طرح کی حرکتیں. وہ ایک علم ہے, وہ بار لوگ اس کی اگر پریکٹس کی جائے تو وہ آ جاتا ہے. تو اس نے جو مسمرائز کرنے کا بڑا ماہر تھا, اس نے حضرت مسیح موعود پر توجہ کی تو حضرت مسیح علیہ السلام تقریر کرتے گئے. اور اس نے نا وہ کہتا ہے کہ مجھے نظر آیا کچھ اونٹ نظر آئے کہ جیسے مجھ پر حملہ کریں گے. تو میں نے کہا کوئی بات نہیں, ایسے مجھے غلطی لگی ہے. کہتا ہے میں نے دوبارہ اپنے قوا کو اکٹھا کر کے دوبارہ میں نے مسپرائز کرنے کی کوشش کی. جب میں نے پوری کوشش کی تو سنا ہے کہ حضرت مسیح علیہ السلام نے صرف دیکھا اس کی طرف کہ یہ کون ہے, یہ کر رہا ہے. چیخیں مارتا ہوا جوتیاں چھوڑ کر بھاگ گیا مسیح مبارک سے. یہ اللہ تعالیٰ کے جو بندے ہوتے ہیں وہ خدا کے شیر ہوتے ہیں, ان کو ہاتھ نہیں لگانا چاہیے کیونکہ وہ تو خدا کے شیر ہوتے ہیں. تو جو مسمرائز کرنے والے ہوتے ہیں وہ تو کیا, انبیاء سے بغض بھی اے غافلو اچھا نہیں, دور تر ہٹ جاؤ اس سے, ہے یہ شیروں کی کچار. اس لیے آپ جائیں, آپ دیکھیں گے کہ اللہ تعالیٰ آپ کے کلام میں برکت ڈالے گا. آپ دعا کی عادت ڈالیں اپنے آپ کو, آپ اللہ تعالیٰ کے ساتھ تعلق قائم کریں, غریبوں کی مدد کریں, غریبوں کے کام آئیں, ہسپتالوں میں جائیں. کوئی آدمی علیحدہ بیٹھا ہوا ہے کسی بینچ کے اوپر, اس کے پاس جا کر بیٹھ جائیں. اگر وہ کوئی پریشان ہے اس کے ساتھ بیٹھیں جا کر. دیکھیں, when you ask somebody to become an Ahmadi or you invite somebody towards Allah, he wants to know whether you have a connection with God or not. If you do not have a connection with God the Almighty, and as I have said a number of times, and Hazrat Khalifatul Zirabi used to say, "Oh healer, heal thyself." اے سمجھتے ہو کہ تمہارا بہت بڑا تمہارے پاس علاج ہے, اپنا علاج تو پہلے کر لو. So if you are inviting somebody towards Allah, you must make sure that you have got a connection with Allah Ta'ala. If you do not have a connection with Allah Ta'ala, and God is just an academic God, a theoretical God, then your words will fall on deaf ears. May Allah Ta'ala bless you all. May Allah Ta'ala help you, take you back safely home, and may Allah Ta'ala bring you for the next Ijtima also. May Allah Ta'ala grant you health. If you have a problem with your job, my father used to tell me 3 things. He said, Mubarak, never forget to give chanda, never forget to read Al-Fadl, and never forget namaz. This was the last message that I heard from my father. And then he went to Africa and died over there. So never remain attached with the Jamaat Ahmadiyya. And remain and give your chanda regularly, because that is the secret of peace of mind. May Allah Ta'ala bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakumullah ta'ala ahsan jazak.
Nare